What's going on, guys? Marco Flores here with Nerd in the Bay, and I'm with my boys, Crispy and Eddie. If you've seen previous things that we've done, we done previous podcasts talking about whatever that makes us laugh, and everything in between. We did everything in the past. Like we talked about wrestling, we talked about comics, anime, video games, all that stuff. Podcast is going to kind of dive into like what it means to be a man, basically, right? We you've seen those clips of podcasts where it's like it's so pro men that they hate women, sort of thing. Like I don't. I'm not trying to go for that. I'm just trying to trying to talk about what experiences that we've dealt with as a man, right? So yeah, we're gonna cover a lot of topics. This one is gonna be a little bit on the deeper side, just this episode. But like, yeah, it's not to say that we'll go lighter on the next episode. We're gonna go do a lot of back and forths. But the reason why I wanted to start this podcast is just because, like, we're at a certain age. We're considered like uncles or unks, if you're on social media. So yeah, we're at that age where yeah, we're a little bit older. We're not as the young spring chickens that we were before, and yeah, we just have some experience that we would like to just share with you guys if you guys are able to relate to it. If not, just to hear just four guys just talking about the good old days with these young Thundercats. So yeah, so my name is Marco Flores. My channel is Nerd in the Bay. Uh, yeah, I'm turning 42 this Friday at the time of this podcast. Uh, I'm single and I like everything. Yeah, like I said, video games, martial arts, comic books, pro wrestling, everything in like the nerd culture stuff. But like, yeah, very much into video games. Fun fact. Um, Fun fact. I've been on TV. That's in a kind of America Got Talent type competition, and we won, and that was amazing. And that money's gone now. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. I gotta keep the money going. So I gotta keep the money going. But yeah, like I said, I have my boys, Crispy and Eddie here. Yeah, they're gonna introduce themselves and yeah, everything that comes with that. So who wants to pass it off?
Let me
Introduce.
go. Let me get this out of the way.
Yeah, yeah, go for it. Go
Let's
for it,
not go
Crispy.
in order.
Okay.
Well, I'm crispy, and I think I'm 44. I don't remember. I kind of forgot. But
You get to that age, really.
yeah, yeah. Everything seems to just blend together. So I'm like, whatever. Uh, I'm single. I have two kids, and um, my hobbies are pretty. You know, I don't know. It's just I like to be outdoors. I like to travel. I like to play video games here and there. Watch a lot of freaking movies and shows. Um, I love doing stuff outdoors, camping, tubing, water slides, fairs, and all that stuff. Um, what else?
Fun fact.
Oh, fun fact. Oh, I was on TV too. I was part of the Arnold Schwarzenegger campaign. I'm sorry, everybody. I was on Telemundo. It was cool.
Oh man. I don't know. If,
Telemundo.
I don't know if that's the
Of all
first.
channels.
I don't know if that's the first time you revealed that, or like I just remembered you saying something about that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh my god.
That's amazing. So 2 for 2 on TV. How about you, Eddie?
Uh, Eddie Veray. I also have a YouTube channel. Haven't posted in a while. The last thing I posted was us doing a Hot Ones challenge.
That's right.
On a dose of energy with Eddie Boy. Yeah, I meant to do it the actual like the show, but
Mm.
we were just so caught up in how everything was burning, I couldn't get any questions out.
Right. I remember that. Yeah, I also live streamed that same night too, on my end.
Yeah, so um, I am 41, separated, 4 kids. Um, I am currently doing hemodialysis
Mm.
in center. But before all that, I used to enjoy life like everybody else. Go outdoors, see movies.
Dance.
Yeah, oh
We all
yeah,
danced. We danced a lot.
oh yeah, yeah. I used to be a break dancer. Um, I used to take a hip hop class back at Skyline College. Um, I was a martial artist the good majority of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Fun fact. Uh, Weird thing. I don't think I've ever mentioned this. There was a little time in my life I was working at Macy's at Stonestown, which you guys knew,
Mm.
but there was a moment in time where that Macy's was on the news because someone got stabbed in the bathroom.
Oh damn.
And at one point, the store outside was just like flooded with like cameras and stuff. And at one point, they had the cameras pointed in this one section of the store where I was with like some of my coworkers. And for some odd reason, the camera was just on me.
Okay.
So
You
I can
technically
technically say I've been on the news.
you've been on the news. Okay.
Yeah,
You're like
and it
background.
was yeah. No, like it just showed my face.
Mm.
Like I don't know why it was just on me, but yeah. And then like it was just weird. Like after that, going back to work, and then one day, like someone was like this mother and daughter was walking through the store, and the daughter was like, "Hey, that's the guy from the news." I was like, "Nice."
Okay.
I was like, "Hey, cool. I
I'm
like
not gonna lie, E. I thought you were gonna say I'm the one who did it. So I thought that's where you were leading to. I'm like, oh man, here it
It's a
goes.
stinger.
Oh,
It's a,
uh, but like one of the things, like looking back at that situation now, like when it happened, I was asked to get like a medic kit and then bring it to that bathroom, right?
Hmm.
Tell me why when I opened the door, I didn't realize the body was there,
Oh jeez.
like right at the door. So I'm trying to open the door, not knowing that I'm hitting the body.
Yeah. Okay. You're contaminating
So I'm like,
the scene.
I'm trying to hand over the bag, but then I'm wondering why the door's not opening. And they're like, you can't open the door. And I was like, oops.
Dang, that's crazy, dude.
So like, I don't know what part of the body I was like pressing the door up against, but
Mm.
yeah, they said that's as far as the door opens. I was like,
Oh
oh
wow,
man.
jeez, that's
I was like,
crazy.
oops.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Had to call 411,
yeah. So
a 911.
yeah, yeah. It
Four
is.
one one for 911.
It's definitely an
Yeah.
emergency. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So like I said, yeah. Welcome to like our first episode. I know. There's a theme here. Whenever we do podcasts, I never have an official podcast name on the first episode. It's always been like episode 2 or 3 when we get it down, and then yeah, we go from there. But yeah, unknown title, name podcast. But we'll figure something out down the line, maybe probably by the next episode. But yeah, so for today's topic, I wanted to talk about Men's Mental Health Month because it is literally Men's Mental Health Month and like what that means to you guys. Um, so like I can kick it off. This is definitely something in my perspective that we haven't really like talked about, and it's been brought up when we were growing up. It was just you're just living your life, and if something bothered you, usually it was like you kind of kept it to yourself, unless
yeah, this was never a manly topic to talk about.
right. So like yeah, it was never you bring it up to anybody really. It would have to be just like your closest friends when it comes to talking about like serious or just like deep issues or things that you were dealing with, as you were growing up. And for me, for it to be spotlighted now, which I'm glad to, so guys don't have to go through whatever they're going through alone, and it's not the previous stigma, although there's some, not of like people that kind of live in like, oh, you're still not supposed to do that. Like, no, man, we're all going through stuff. Whether like I said, whether you're separated, whether you're a recent widower, unless you broke up, with your significant other, anything that you're going through. I mean, Men's Mental Health Month should not just be a month; it should be just a lifelong thing. And I'm glad we're kind of spotlighting this, and it's a safe space to talk about things now than it was back then. You know, so yeah, that's what it means to me. I appreciate that. That it's here now. I wish it was there back in the days, like so we didn't have to feel so alone about things. But it is what it is too. So yeah, how about you guys? Like, when the topic of Men's Mental Health Month is brought up, like what kind of like definitions or just things that are brought up when that phrase is the phrase men's mental health month comes up.
Well, I can say for me, I, I mean, throughout life you go through so much, whether it's with in a relationship or family or whatever. But I think what scarred me the most was growing up as a kid. You know, going through the whole thing with my stepdad and stuff like that. He was. I don't necessarily blame him because he was a little abusive, a little bit, like physically, mentally, and stuff like that. Verbally, I mean, I don't think he meant to be. I think that's kind of how he thought he was doing the right thing by what he was doing. He didn't, he. I guess that's he told me himself that he apologized and he didn't realize what he was doing. He said that he should have treated me better. But
Mm,
I think through that, it kind of really um kind of kind of stuck with me without me even realizing what was, with like insecurity and me wanting to please everybody, me wanting to do things right, or you know what I mean, like me trying to make everyone else around me happy.
mm,
The pressure of to feeling belong, feeling of belonging somewhere.
mm,
You know, so I've always had that. Like if I made a mistake, I felt like it was wrong because back when I was growing up, we weren't allowed to make a mistake. If we made a mistake, you
yeah,
were stupid,
yeah,
or
right.
you know what I mean. Like, and it is hard because so nowadays when I'm over here making a mistake, I'm like, oh, like I freeze up, and I'm kind of just like,
Mm,
oh, man, I'm so hard on myself because I was taught that making a mistake wasn't good,
mm, mm,
you know. So like just growing up was, and then the whole definition of being a man, like I don't understand where that came from.
mm,
Like who who sat there and made that definition of what a man's supposed to be?
right.
Like it doesn't. What does it
Yeah,
have
but
to do with?
I always, to me, like the whole be a man thing was always just like some unwritten rule type of thing. Like it's just being, it's like growing up. I think you just get thrown out there, and you just got to fend for yourself and got to learn it on your own type of stuff.
Mm,
That's
Well,
what that's what
yeah.
I always thought being a man meant.
Like for me, from what I think being a man is like from what I've heard is like you have to pay all the bills, you have to support your family, you have to spend time with your family, you have
mm,
to, you know what I mean? But it's just it's hard because if you're out trying to make money for your family, you lose that time with your family.
right.
But then you get judged for not spending so much time with your family.
Mm,
But if you're over there trying to spend time with your family, you're not out there making money, so you get freaking
It's a
ridiculed or
double edged
whatever
sword.
for not
Yeah,
making that money. So it's like it's hard to like balance everything. I mean, maybe some people can do it. I mean, people who just paid hella money or have their
mm,
own businesses. I don't know, but on me being a regular person, I can't I can't do both. I can't sit there and make all this money. I mean, I could barely do it right now. Like everything's so
right.
expensive. So there's a lot of pressure and stuff like that. And not only that, like being an adult, they're saying like for me, like they're saying, oh, you're 44, you don't have your own house, you don't have this, you
Mm,
don't, and it's like you don't want to like I guess consider being grown as having your own house
mm,
or like growing as a person. But for me, I just feel like being being grown is not necessarily what you have, is what you gone through and what
Mm-hmm.
you've learned through that process and all the experiences that you have experienced, like traveling and meeting, to learning different cultures and stuff like that. To me, I think that's growth. I don't feel like having a house is growth. Or I mean, it's nice to have a house and I understand the whole purpose of having a house, but I don't feel like having possessions is considered as growth. Like having a nice car, having a nice big house, and all that stuff. I don't feel that's growth. I just feel like growth is more experience based, based on like what you experienced throughout your life and what you learned from it and stuff like that. So yeah,
Okay.
No, like I was just about to agree with you with that. I'm like, I was just about to say like owning your own house and all that stuff isn't exactly um the definition of like being a man. It's more of an experience
Mm-hmm.
as you're growing up, becoming a man.
and and it's more bills.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more
It's
it's
not
more something to pay for.
it's not a possession, it's an expense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So like for me, like the with the whole mental illness slash awareness thing, like I wish it didn't take this whole woke era
Mm-hmm.
to have it be put out there. I mean, what is the hell is this whole woke stuff anyway?
yeah,
But it's like, I mean, like anyone's mental illness or having mental awareness is just a thing of a thing from life,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
not in life. It's from life. So, like the experiences I have gone through coming up as from a boy to where I'm at now, it's like I wish there were times where I wasn't so sheltered because I mean I didn't have, and the only traveling I really did was what LA, Vegas, and then doing
Florida.
random trips with my grandpa
And Florida.
to like Washington, Seattle, or no, yeah. I mean that's probably the biggest trip I've ever taken,
Mm-hmm.
going to Florida, and I'm glad I got to experience that, like because of what because of that experience, it put me out there and networked into a bunch of other stuff that I
Mm-hmm.
never thought I'd experience throughout my entire life in my martial arts career.
Yeah.
And so
so yeah,
like it, like with a lot of the experiences that I have gone through, I mean, to me, I didn't understand what being a man was until having kids.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, because I always I mean, even till this day, I still consider myself a giant ass kid who hasn't fully grown up yet. But like when I got with when I first got with my ex and she has her daughter,
Mm-hmm.
like I was like, oh wow, I am a full blown dad, hopping into a relationship, and we weren't even that serious yet. But like I'm just glad that I was raised around a lot of babies,
Mm-hmm.
like with both sides of my family, because like I ended up realizing that I love babies. Like I love being around babies and stuff like that. So being a dad kind of was almost like second nature when the time came.
Mm-hmm.
But then when Maddie was born, that's when everything changed because that was my child.
Right.
That was my first child.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh crap, they're right. Like whether you have whether you have a little girl or a little boy, it doesn't matter. Your first child, something changes in
Mm-hmm.
you, whether you realize it or not. And after that, like I just realized like I loved being a dad. And
Mm.
then had two more after that, and I was like, all right, cool. There's my family,
Yeah.
and I will do my best to be my best for them.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
then a lot of stuff happened along the way where I ended up with another thing of drug abuse,
Mm.
which was like 2 years ago. No, yeah, 2 years ago now. Eh, yeah, 2 years ago. Like end of 2021 and and practically all of 2022.
Oh, like pandemic,
Like yeah, I mean end of pandemic
pretty much.
basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, end of pandemic. I was I was riding white lines like it was no tomorrow, like it was snowing and I was inhaling at the same time,
Dang.
just all day, every day at work. And uh, that's what led me to the final separation with my relationship, and it ended up with me having to start dialysis,
Mm.
which put which those I mean the separation in my relationship was, I knew it was my fault, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I know I could have stopped it,
Mm.
and it's hard not to beat yourself up for something like that. And then when I found out I had to do dialysis, that was another thing I beat myself up for a little bit because it's like, dude, now I can't do a lot of things that I used to do.
Mm.
I have to I have to I have to watch out for this. I gotta take a whole bunch of extra meds, and then I have to basically rearrange my life to fit in this extra thing to keep me alive. And I went through a harsh depression for a quick little bit because like I was feeling guilty.
Mm.
Like I was like, dude, I'm putting a lot of burden on my family, putting a lot of burden on my friends because it's just it was me feeling guilty about having everybody worry about me.
Mm.
And so, and then after a while, I was like, you know what? Like, it's not, you can't keep doing that. You just gotta pick yourself up, realize why you're still here and what you want to stay around for. And that's what's keeping me around today. So,
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Absolutely.
I don't know if I told you guys, but in high school, almost I thought about killing myself,
Mm.
and I was close to it just because I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. I didn't feel like I was wanted, and I lost my nana. She was
Mm.
like important to me and everything. But I don't know. I just felt like it just nothing really made sense. You know what I mean? My stepdad, who I thought was my real dad, like I was never told.
Mm.
But I'm like, why the hell is my dad like freaking treating me like I'm freaking like a stepchild? And that's because I was, but I didn't know that. So one day, while he was sleeping, I actually stood next to his bed, like next to him, and I was just looking over him like, "You're such an asshole! Like you're freaking dick!
Mm.
Like what the hell?" Man, I went to the kitchen. I grabbed a knife and I was going to, you know, end it.
Mm.
And I was just standing there, just thinking and thinking and crying. I'm like, dude, why am I even here? Blah blah blah. And then thought about my nana, and I didn't do it, but I was really close to it because I felt alone, and I wasn't able to open up to anybody.
Mm.
Because like you said, I didn't have anyone to talk to or open up to because we weren't really supposed to do that.
Yeah.
So it was really really rough. And then you know then finally I left the house because it was either you know, either that or killing myself. So I ended up grab whatever I could, put it in a bag, and left. My sister caught me, and she's like, "I want to go with you," and I'm like, and I didn't want to drag her down with me because I didn't know where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her to go to a friend's house because I knew if she went to a friend's house, they were gonna find her.
Mm-hmm.
There's no and buts about it. A friend that my family knows. She was only there. They were gonna go there and ask her. So they ended up finding her after that and whatever. But throughout that whole process of me leaving the house and everything, I went from house to house, family and stuff like that, kicking me out. From here, and then they're over there would tell people that I'm over there trying to work two jobs at one point and
Mm-hmm.
working double shifts at a job, and they'll sit there and tell me that I'm just um, partying all the time. But at one point, all I did was party. I just got so because I wasn't allowed to really do anything while I was living with my family. It was just homeschool, and just
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean. And then top of that, when you go home and try to do your homework, and then you get beat up because your homework is not being done right or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. At that point, you just freaking take schoolwork that you've done before you got home and made it seem like it was your homework.
Yeah.
So you can avoid getting beat up. You know what I mean? So, that took a lot. And I think that's the reason why, and my ex kind of like, oh, that happened in the past, let it go, you're an adult now. But past trauma is not something for, it doesn't matter how old you are. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter if it happened when you were a kid or an adult. Like it's not a joke. I guess, I mean, she didn't grow up in the same household as I have where, parents were strict, where
Yeah.
you were so, you know, Filipino families, some Filipino families are very, really strict, especially when they're very traditional, they're very, very strict on what you do. They try to control on what kind of job or whatever. They trying to control everything.
Yeah.
So she didn't grow up that way. So she didn't understand that what I've gone through affects me as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of mental things that you go through when you go through that kind of stuff. And then finding out, like I end up looking for, you know, because I just something didn't seem right. Like one day before I left the house, I was looking through all my stuff. 'Cause I'm like, this isn't right. There's no way this dude's my real dad.
Mm-hmm.
No way. So I found my birth certificate and it had a different dude's name on it. I'm like, I knew it. And my sisters were helping me, and I was like, I knew it. We didn't say anything to her, and then finally my mom said something. We were all like, oh, okay, cool. Like, oh my gosh, really? You know what I mean? Like we were surprised, but we already knew.
Yeah.
But then throughout that, and then from then to now, I experienced drugs a little bit. I did a little bit. I did ecstasy mainly. I mean, I got hot boxed by E and Jeff and everything. You know what I mean? Like, I've gone through, and I lost my path for a while. I was very irresponsible, and the people who actually were trying to be there for me, which was my uncle on Mission Street, my mom's brother, but I didn't see that. So I was so tired of, I was just, I was just tired of things, just feeling betrayed by certain people and being lied to some people. I mean, I even got robbed by a friend. You know what I mean? They freaking kicked me out of the house and gave me half my stuff and kept everything else.
Oh wow.
And I see him later. At least see him later on down the road. He's over there wearing the shoes that he took from me. So
Damn.
I'm like, dude, what the? That's
Wow.
shady. And then he's over there trying to get with this girl that I was, that I liked, or whatever. And I'm like, dude, this is something else.
Wow.
So that's where I start losing trust in people.
Mm.
I'm losing, and it's hard. That's why right now it's hard for me to let people in. So when I do let people in, I mean, I don't know if you guys think it's special, but to me it is because I don't let anybody into my life.
Mm.
My group of
I
friends are you
mean,
guys.
yeah, when we started hanging out, like for me personally, like I always tell people, like my group of friends, if they're like everyone that I let into my group of personal friends, like if there's something wrong with them, then they're most likely gonna click with me better.
Mm,
If nothing was wrong with them, I probably wouldn't vibe with them the way that I do.
mm,
So, like I mean, with you, Crispy, I knew like for some reason, I mean, besides the whole ecstasy abuse and all that, I mean, I felt like there was something deeper to you than that was bothering, that like there's something lingering that like I but see there I mean it was just like the whole being a man thing. It's like you want to you want to say something about it, but as a dude you're like, do I talk to him about it, or does he would he want to talk to me about it,
mm,
type of thing.
I'm definitely reserved. I'm a very reserved person, and me, I think I'm more reserved now than I was before. And yeah, I do hold a lot of stuff because if you guys notice, I just wanted to have fun.
mm.
You know, I
Oh
just
yeah.
wanted,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
you know what I mean. Just wanted to dance. I wanted to just do that. But of course, when people seem like they're happy, they're hiding something.
Mm,
You know, if someone behind that smile, like someone who's always smiling, there's something hurting inside. I feel like
mm,
because I was always smiling, but I was always there was so much there was so much insecurity, the lack of confidence, just because the way I grew up, you know, my freaking stepdad would always tell me how stupid I was, and
mm,
I was literally told I would never amount to anything, so I believed it.
mm.
You know, I didn't have that support where people actually believe that I can do something, you know. But you know, I tried. I try my best every day, and
Yeah.
trying to be a good person, but it's so hard to determine what's considered as a good person. I feel like
Mm,
you know, trying to be a quote unquote a man or trying to be a good person because you get so conflicted with some of the decisions that you have to make.
mm.
Because sometimes it's never good or bad. Sometimes it's bad and bad.
Yeah.
You have to just pick one of the two.
What's less evil or less worse than the other?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know. So like right now, I'm going through personal stuff, and it's just mentally, it's really tiring because
Mm,
I want to do the right thing, and it's hard because my emotions and my feelings to tell me one thing, but the whole thing of being an adult or being a man or being or doing the right thing is just it's conflicting with how I feel.
right. Yeah.
You know, I'm told that I should just let things go, and people tell me that it, you know when people tell you, hey, just let there's a destiny take, you know, let things
Mm,
take its course, but it's really hard to do that sometimes. When you know, I realize me growing up, I used to give people advice
mm,
and then find myself not following it when I'm in it.
right.
So that's why I think that's why nowadays I keep to myself a lot. So when someone tries to ask for advice or someone trying to, you know, it's hard for me to give it because I feel like, I mean, if it was me, I don't know how I would handle it, especially if I haven't gone through it,
Mm,
you know. So I don't know.
mm,
It's hard. It's just hard being an adult and being hard. It's hard, you know, trying to keep, you know, my own opinion, and you know, I understand. I mean, all I'm saying is that whatever you think is what a man is supposed to be, fine, whatever.
mm,
But for me, I don't think there's no real definition of what a man is supposed to be. And what I hate most is when a female goes, "You need you need to act like a man." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, how do you know what a man's supposed to be like? You know what I mean? Like, I think
That's
it's
a
stupid,
that's one of the oh
and
god. I've heard
I
that
just
so many times.
I don't think things should be labeled. I don't think. Oh yeah, a man's supposed to do this, a woman's supposed to do this. I think we should just get rid of all that. I just be. Don't worry about being a man. Just be a good person. Like forget it.
Yeah,
But I guess that's been around forever, so
yeah,
it's never gonna really change.
yeah. You guys pretty much
This is
hit. Oh, go ahead.
it's just my opinion, guys. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Don't cancel it.
Nope.
He has no social media to be canceled anyway, so he's good.
Yeah. That's I don't have any social media. Yep. I don't have any social media. I got rid of all that. And,
Good.
and so
Good.
this is the reason why, okay? You know, I'm currently separated and I don't know if I feel like it's my fault. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it is, but I tell but maybe it's not. I don't know. And I talked to our buddy, Joey. Buddy, yeah. He he did remind me. He did remind me though. He's told me that you're always 50% of the problem. And that's the truth.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
And
He's not wrong.
and I can't sit there and put everything on me, but I can't help but to think what I could have done different.
Hmm. Of
Or
course. Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And
Because
then and we can be here on the other end telling you, yeah, it's not completely your fault.
Hmm.
yeah,
Because I mean us as your boys, we're gonna be like, hell no, it's not your fault.
yeah, yeah,
And that's just gaslighting you,
Hmm.
telling
yeah,
you what you want to hear. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, he's right. It's 50% not your fault.
yeah. But and I'm constantly battling myself. Like, and I literally work with the dude, and then I look at him. I'm like, dude, like, what does he have? What I don't have, or is it because
Whoa,
he's
whoa,
taller
whoa,
than
whoa, whoa,
me?
whoa, 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 hold on, hold on, hold on. I don't think that was ever said, or I don't think I ever heard that before. You work with this guy?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
There's two guys actually. I see one in the morning and I see one in the afternoon.
Oh my god. Oh
Yeah.
hell no.
I'm not gonna say any names, whatever. It's but and
You don't have to, bro.
yeah.
But I
But
didn't realize it was like that.
yeah, and I know people think I'm stupid for this, but I still love her.
Hmm.
I still do. And
That's dude. That's the mother of your child, bro.
yeah, yeah, and I battle what I'm battling with right now is the fact that I know I probably shouldn't want to get back with her, but deep down inside I do just to keep um so my daughter can have a family, and I want a family,
Hmm.
but I'm always battling myself because I sometimes I do have those days where I'm like emotionally um not really stable.
Hmm.
I could, and I talk to Marco a lot. I always text him when I'm not am I right on mine or something like that, and I do have those days, but there are days when I'm just like super, yeah, cool. I'm on my own, blah blah blah. But when I get home, I am missing my daughter. I am missing, my ex, and but I battle myself because I want to call her and I want to say,
Hmm.
oh, I did this and I miss you, blah blah blah, or I hate you. Look, I go through so many different emotions, but I know I can't.
Hmm.
And I know I shouldn't because it's just gonna make the situation worse. But there are times when I see dude, I'm like, freaking, I want to grab him and I just want to knock him out, and and that's what leads to like trust stuff because I feel like he tends to, he would say, so my ex, my ex would like say, oh yeah, he told her that he doesn't want to fight, and he understands where I'm coming from, and he doesn't want to come in between my daughter and myself. And dude literally did all of that shit.
Mm.
He came in between me and my daughter. He doesn't understand where I'm coming from because he hasn't lost his family. No one came into his house and took his family away from him.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, regardless,
Exactly.
we were broken up, but we were still living in the same house together. She knew how I felt, and she knew I was trying to repair the relationship.
Mm.
And dude came into our home, and I knew what he was doing. He could say whatever he wants. He knew what he was doing. He saw what he saw.
Mm.
We were living in the house, me, my daughter, and her mom. Obviously, someone was trying to make it work for us to be living in the house together.
Mm.
But I battle myself all the time because I want to attack him. I do, but I don't feel that's right. But then I'm always struggling with maybe he's a better person than I am. Maybe it's because he's taller, or maybe it's because he's younger because she is a little younger than I am.
Mm.
So I'm always hard on myself. So when it comes to mental health, that's part of it. Like I'm constantly trying to um uh talk to myself and let
Mm.
myself know that I have to let things go, I guess, and kind of do this whole saying, if things are meant to work out, then things are meant to work out, because I don't after everything, I don't feel like she's a bad person just because even all this is happening and whatever that was done, because I was in the wrong too, and so was she. After everything, she hasn't done anything super shady as of now. Like I don't want to be around him, and she makes sure that happens. She doesn't bring him around me or nothing.
Mm.
And uh and then I'm still allowed to see my daughter. I could go almost anytime I want, as long as I give them the courtesy to call me. Hey, can I see Iceland? Can I see my daughter?
Mm.
And they're like perfectly fine with it. And I'm grateful for that. I haven't even gone to child support yet, dude. I'm grateful,
Yeah.
but it hurts. It hurts being there because I want us to be family so bad.
Yeah, it's not where you pictured it.
Yeah, it's not where I want. It's not where I thought we would be.
Mm.
So mentally, it's very draining because I go through so many different emotions at one time, and you know, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it's hard, guys. It's
Uh,
hard being
trust me,
alone.
trust me. Like I know what you're going through on that end
Yeah,
because I mean, I in my situation, it's like I know it's 100% my fault on where we're at.
Mm.
yeah,
So there's days where it'll be weeks, maybe months where I'm good, and then that one random ass day,
Mm.
it reality hits me, and I'm just like,
uh,
damn it,
yeah. That's why
damn it.
those are
How
my
like
friends. Sorry.
it's like how do I get myself out of this little funk?
Yeah, no,
Because it
I'm,
it just it just stays for I don't know how long, and like
yeah,
then the whole I'm I become a dude, and I don't want to talk to nobody, and I just shut down, and I get in
yeah,
my feelings and just want to like curl up and cry. But
yeah. Dude, I broke down like when I knew it was officially done and there was no more trying. I cried for like 2 3 days, and I'm a very open person, I guess, and I will always express how I feel,
Mm.
but I do hold it in around people who I can't share it with. And I'm sorry for cracking a joke in the middle of us being all serious, but I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself.
that's
But anyways,
that's what we do.
yeah.
That's
Marco,
what we do.
Mm.
how about you? You know what? We've been doing all the talking, man.
I know. I was about to
I,
say, dude. I mean, we've been sharing our experiences. We I like we've. I know that I've I've seen your video
Mhm.
about
The year.
the end of last year,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
the whole end of the year thing. So, I mean, I've been meaning to talk to you about that, and
Mhm.
I've been wanting to do a video like that myself on my situation,
Mhm.
uh, and all that. So, I mean, let's get deep with you, bro.
Um, can I say something real quick?
Go for it.
Um, I have a ranch that I need to put in the fridge because I don't want it to go bad.
Go ahead. Go do what you need to do.
Okay, I'll be right back. You guys feel
Okay.
free. I'll be back real
All right.
quick.
No problem, man.